Hi everyone, a very exhausted Danny here today to talk to you about Brian Staveley's book, The Providence of Fire. And I am not exhausted from work. I am exhausted from listening to this book. This is the middle book in a 3-book series. The first book, The Emperor's Blades, I told you was so-so. It was okay. I didn't know how I was going to continue with it. It would depend upon this book as to whether I finish the series. Brian Staveley he's created a world that really could be a very interesting and fascinating world. He has a plot line that could be and should be thoroughly fascinating. There's a few things that ruin this for me, and it's not the vulgarity. The first book, I told you, the vulgarity was kind of bothersome to me. The vulgarity is the least of it in this book. It's no worse than it is in the first book. It might be slightly less, it might be the same, I don't know. But this is a dark book. The world, the direction that Brian takes this world is very dark. This is not a world I would ever want to live in. I would ever want anyone else to live in. None of the characters are someone I would want to be. Usually when you've got a book or a book series, there's a character that, appeals to you that you're like, yeah, I'd like to be that guy. I'd like to be Thor. Or, from The Lord of the Rings, I'd like to be Strider. From Harry Potter, who doesn't want to be Harry Potter? I mean, even book series like Dragon Blades, I did a review of that one earlier, and it wasn't a great book series, but I'd love to be the main character in that book. That was a world I could easily inhabit and live in. Not the case with this book at all. It's dark. It's a vile world. There was one point where it got bad enough that I had to turn the book off, go to something else, and decide, what, am I going to continue with where this book is going, or am I just going to call it quits? And I decided, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue with the book. If it gets any worse, I'm shutting it off and I'm not finishing the book. It never got any worse, but it never got any better. I mean, every 5 minutes someone is getting tortured, and I don't mean tortured as in, two people are fighting and someone's getting beat up badly. No, I mean hands are tied and the skin is being flayed from their body, or their eyeballs are being gouged out, or body parts are being cut off, or they're being torn. I mean, it's excessive, which makes it very dark. This book does not leave you feeling good at all, and on top of that, at any given time, it's bouncing between 5 to 7 storylines. And of course it does like most authors do. When an author has a couple of characters and you're following a couple of different storylines, they like to stop a storyline at a cliffhanger. So you're going along, okay, we'll stop this storyline here, jump to this storyline, go along, stop that, then jump back. Well, here you go along, stop, jump, go along, stop, jump, go along, stop, jump. Well, let's jump back to this, and then hours later, it gets hard to track. It's some of the storylines are very interesting. Some of the storylines, just who cares? Why did you bother to put that in the book? Who really truly cares? This is not a book I recommend. The series is not a series I recommend at all. I am not going to listen to the third book in this series. In fact, I'm going to return the first 2 books to Audible and just call it quits. If you are someone who likes your book really dark, then give it a try. This may be a book for you. If you like your books really dark and you like overly complicated plots and storylines, this may be for you. Me, I don't like my books that dark at all. Books evoke feelings. Books, they stir you and they affect your day. A good book will. It will affect your day. It will affect how you go through the rest of your day. I don't like the effects this book has on me at all. I don't like the effect it has on the rest of the day. I mean, like I said, I'm exhausted right now, and I've only been at work for 5 hours. I'm putting in a 16-hour day today, so that's nothing. I should be chock full of energy, and instead I'm feeling exhausted and drained and can't wait for the next book. So, unless you like dark books with a lot of torture, oh my gosh, a lot of torture, and overly complicated plots, avoid this book. Avoid this series. There are a lot of good books and series out there. This isn't one of them. Narrator does a great job, not on the Narrator. Any comments, questions, or feedback, please send them my direction. If you like my channel, please subscribe. And I hope you are having a much better day than I have had up to this point. Hopefully the next book I start listening to will improve my day. Thank you.